little discussion. Towards the end, I think we were a couple of votes away from it getting to the silver. But I think they felt that relative to other things, the insight was wonderful, the execution was simple, we had good results, there were just others more worthier, and I didn't. And part of that might be a Canadian bias, but you know, we do come with a certain geographic bias to these things, and that's why we're here, to advocate for Canada. We saw, as I said, excellent work, worthy of a Grand Prix, but under these rules it's disqualified. And while I understand that in other categories, like creative, because creative is a motive and, you know, the brief would be different than if you're doing, you know, toothpaste or whatever. And so I think the feeling is it's easier to do that. But in media, the same disciplines apply. I've got to understand who's my target. I've got to understand how do I reach them. And in fact, even more so when you're working with charities and public awareness, media insights and media execution are even more stringent. I mean, when you reach street people, how do you do that? What is the target group? What is the media execution? Why shouldn't that be worthy of an award? We saw some wonderful work, absolutely wonderful work, that I do believe was worthy of a Grand Prix. And if anything, I would argue that in a media lion, it's sometimes even more difficult to connect with the target group, depending on what the what the company is, or what the charity is, or the public awareness. The other thing is that, I bet in every country, but I'll speak for Canada, nobody is more philanthropic than our Canadian media vendors, all of them. And I'm sure they say, and agencies, even I sometimes say, okay, do I have like a sign on my back, which is this way for pro bono? But, you know, when we do take it on, it has a very heightened level of involvement by the people who work on it, at both the vendor and the buyer. And we look at where should that spot be placed? Where should that add? What site selection? So we give it as much scrutiny. We put as much in it. You know, often it's also done by junior or mid-level people where this is a passion for them. This is their, and I don't want it, I want it recognized, is I guess what I would say.